Most people think bodybuilding is the peak of health and discipline. But after competing not in one, not in two, but in three natural bodybuilding shows, I can confidently tell you this. I will never step on a bodybuilding stage ever again. Now, not because I am weak, not because I can't handle it, because clearly I've done it three times, but because the truth about bodybuilding, especially when it comes to natural bodybuilding, is something that no one really talks about. And after hearing what I'm about to tell you in today's video, you might rethink everything you're trying to do as well. Or you might rethink ever trying it too. So I've competed in three bodybuilding shows. I've been peeled, I've been shredded, I've been diced, I've been dry, whatever you want to call it. I've done the fasted 5 a.m. morning cardio workouts, the 100-step posing routines, the weekly check-ins, the starvation phases. I've done all of it. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you what really happens to your body, including your hormones, your mental health, and your life when you chase that stage lean conditioning, and why shifting to a more of a hybrid athleticism saved my health, my energy, and my overall love for fitness. So we're going to break this down into three separate parts. So we're going to talk about what bodybuilding really does to you, why I decided to walk away forever, and what I do now, and why I've never felt any better because of it. So let's start with section number one, which is what bodybuilding actually does to you, your body, your hormones, everything. So point number one, the hormonal crash nobody warned you about. When you are a natural athlete, and I assume most people watching this right now, you're not taking any PEDs, steroids, you're not on TRT, any of that stuff. When you are natural, bodybuilding prep absolutely destroys your hormones. Like they just plummet, every single one of them. And I'm talking about your testosterone tanked, your libido gone, your excitement for life is zero. Waking up tired after even 8 hours of high quality sleep, like everything just starts to shut down. And now there was a point in prep where I did not feel like doing anything. Like I had no drive, I had no ambition, I had like nothing. Like I was just kind of like this walking zombie, just pure exhaustion, 24/7, even after a good night of sleep. Which, by the way, my sleep was probably horrible at the time too. You just kind of become this really weird, robotic, emotionless, survival mode version of yourself. And the worst part is that people glorify this, right? You see on social media, like all these people that are peeled, they're shredded. And as the person who is peeled and shredded, you kind of get incentivized and you get all these dopamine hits because people are liking your stuff a bit more. You get more likes, you get more comments, you get more compliments of like, yo, bro, you're so disciplined, or wow, look at those abs. Meanwhile, you feel like a zombie with abs. And so you're kind of in this weird predicament where you feel like trash, but you look amazing. And it's like, it really sucks because it's just not fun, because like you ideally would want to be in a situation where you both look good and actually feel good at the same time. But at the extreme end of things, you cannot have both. Unfortunately, you're going to have to take one in order to sacrifice for the other. Now, and later on in today's video, I'm going to explain to you how you can still experience both good energy and an amazing body, an amazing physique. But especially when it comes to those very extreme level of body fat percentages, yeah, you're going to have to make a couple of sacrifices. And yeah, the leaner you get, the more compliments you may get, but the more like trash you will feel. So yeah, I've experienced this not once, not twice, but 3 times. I've competed 3 times, and every single time that I've done it, especially towards the tail end of my preparation, yeah, you just feel like death basically, because your body is just trying to survive. Like it's shutting everything down. Like you don't need testosterone, because when you're in this scarcity, when you're in this food deprived state, your body doesn't care about your muscle mass or about your testosterone levels. It is just simply trying to survive. So subconsciously, it'll just shut everything down in order to keep you alive, basically, in order to keep things running, like the actual things that actually matter. And just saying that out loud, it's like, why would anyone want to sign up for that? Sure, you look amazing, but at what cost? And we're just talking strictly as a natural athlete. I won't even want to know in terms of like being an enhanced athlete, taking a boatload of steroids, taking testosterone, taking TRT on top of that. I mean, it's definitely a huge negative thing to your health. All right, so let's move on to point number 2, the mental side effects, which are way worse, by the way. And no one talks about this. No one talks about the mental damage of getting peeled. Just to name a couple, you're food focused 24/7. All you're thinking about is food. Before you go to bed, when you wake up, during your workouts, you're not fantasizing about women, about girls. You're not horny anymore. You get excited about food. You go on your Instagram, you go on your TikTok, you go on your social media, you go on your explore page. There's only going to be food around. You're going to be scrolling food videos. That's what actually gets you excited. You start to plan out your post-show binge session. You're like mapping out, okay, this is what I'm going to eat post-show. Then I'm going to go to this restaurant and I'm going to have this for dessert. And I'm going to have this to wash it down. Like you just become, like your world becomes food. Everything revolves around food. Food this, food that, food, 24/7. And now as a result, your binge urges after the show increase dramatically. Like your urge to binge every single day, every single night are a lot higher because you're restricting yourself so much. And I always say this to my clients, but as soon as you restrict yourself from something, especially for a prolonged period of time, you're naturally just going to want to eat more of that food. Right? If I tell you can never have oatmeal again, I know it's a weird thing, but if someone were to tell me like, hey, Conan, you can never have oatmeal again, I'm subconsciously going to start to crave oatmeal just because someone has put restrictions on me. Or maybe if you're a normal person watching this, if I tell you, hey, you can never have pizza again, or donuts again, or fries, or sushi, whatever your favorite food is, you're naturally just going to want to start wanting to eat that a bit more. And you're naturally going to start to crave that food a bit more, right? So that's kind of what happens whenever you restrict yourself for so long. And on top of that too, this is something that actually no one told me going into this, but you feel cold 24/7. Like I myself, like I competed November 8th, is currently November 28th. So literally, close to almost 3 weeks, around 19, 20 days ago, I stepped on stage and I'm still noticing some of the effects of, I'm still very, very cold. And it definitely doesn't help that it's wintertime right now as I'm filming this. So I got my hoodie on all the time. I'm shivering a bit more. I still got to go through my post-show recovery phase, which I'm currently in the process of deliberately gaining more body fat, because when you're in such a low body fat percentage, you are naturally going to be very, very cold. On top of that too, you become emotionless. And this is not something that makes life a fun experience, because anything could happen, whether it's a sad moment or a funny moment, like you're watching a comedy show. What may have once made you laugh and what once may have made you want to like laugh out loud, you no longer laugh anymore. You're just kind of like emotionless. You're a zombie. You don't really have that emotion anymore. Something bad happens in your life, something sad happens, an accident happens. You're like, oh crap, like this sucks, but it's not like you're over like stressing over it. So what I noticed is that my stress levels were just nothing. Like whether it's a good thing, nothing. Bad thing, nothing. It's almost like this very stoic mentality, which a lot of people try to do deliberately. But if you are doing it not on purpose, but just because that is how you currently are in your current state, it's not really a good thing, because you want to feel emotion. You want to feel happy. You want to feel sad. You want to have these emotions, because being emotion, like humans are meant to be emotional. Like we are emotional creatures, especially women, but guys as well. We can be emotional too. And if you're not able to experience all of the emotions life has to offer, once again, you're just kind of this walking zombie, and you're just experiencing life. You're walking through life with no emotion. And that doesn't really make life a whole lot of fun, right? So that's another thing that you experience. You feel cold. You have no emotion. You're always wanting to crawl back into bed. You're not wanting to leave the house. And you're kind of feeling isolated from the world, because you know that as soon as you leave the house, something could happen in terms of, oh, well, what if you're not in your regular environment, where you become really like controlling, basically, where you want to control your food environments, like what goes into your body. You want to control your outputs, like just everything you want to control. And as soon as you put yourself out of that environment that is a bit more unpredictable, maybe you got to delay your meals a bit. Maybe you can't drink your water. Maybe you got to stay up a bit later. It just kind of drives you crazy because you're in such a routine oriented lifestyle. And as soon as you take yourself away from that, you're kind of like, oh no, like, am I able to still stay on track? Am I still able to do all these things? And that's also not a good situation to be in, because we preach to our clients all the time, like, we want fitness to enhance our life and not take over our life. And so as soon as we notice that we're making all these crazy sacrifices where we're no longer allowing ourselves to go to the movies or to go on a date night or to explore, to meet more people, to go to a party in order to achieve this fitness goal, it begs the question, why are we doing this? Because for a lot of you watching right now, including myself, the reason I got into fitness, the reason I wanted to get into better shape was so that I could put myself out there a bit more, so that I could talk to more people, network more, have more energy, being able to explore more, travel the world more. But as soon as you put yourself in a position where that's taken away from you, it kind of defeats the purpose, right? It's like same thing with being an entrepreneur. Like, we want to be an entrepreneur. We want to build a business so that we can be more free, so that we can buy back our freedom. But if we're sacrificing our freedom in order to build a business, it kind of like defeats the purpose of it. So be careful with this. If you have aspirations of wanting to compete, these are just few of the many things that you'll experience. And the first time that I competed, I was unaware of any of these things. I did not know this. I didn't know I was going to be cold all the time. I didn't know my sex drive was going to plummet. I didn't know I was going to get horny or not get horny, but get horny or get excited after watching like food porn videos. I didn't know any of this. And it sucks. Like, it's not fun. Especially now, I can say this confidently in hindsight, that it's not a fun experience. Like, yes, if you set a goal for yourself, like, I am a firm believer that you should set a highly ambitious goal for yourself, but it has to align with your actual purpose in life. If your purpose in life is to become a pro natural bodybuilder or to step on the Olympia stage, then yes, this is a sacrifice that you're going to have to make for yourself. But if that is not the goal for you, and your goal is simply just to be a bit healthier, have a bit more energy, have a bit more sex drive, have a bit more libido, then this is definitely not something you should be signing up for. 100% not. It's going to be more, like, there's more negatives than there are positives to this. I can guarantee you that. Now, essentially during this time, prep makes your entire identity revolve around food, around macros, around steps, and how flat your physique looks in the morning. Your life shrinks into two specific categories. Does this either help my prep, and does this ruin my prep? Like, those are the only two things, black and white. There's no gray area. And your social life collapses. Your relationships will take a hit. You're too tired to think, too hungry to work, and too drained to show up for people, especially your loved ones. That is not health. That is not fitness. You know what that is? That is survival. You are on survival mode, where everything in your life takes the backseat. Your family, your work, your business. Like, I really wish someone would have told me this before I actually decided to compete on stage, because a lot of people just aren't aware. And I'm the type of person who, like, once I commit to something, once I sign up for something, like, I go full steam ahead. No matter what happens, no matter whatever, like, if I sign up for something, like, I do it. Now, you're probably wondering, Conan, well, okay, if you experienced this the first time you competed, why did you compete the other two times? So for reference, the first time I competed was in 2021 in July, first ever time doing it. Second time was actually this past January, so not even a year ago, literally 10 months ago. And then the third time was not even a month ago. So I did two back-to-back shows in a pretty short time duration. Once in 2021, twice in 2025. And throughout this time as well, I ran marathons too. I ran 2 marathons in between my second bodybuilding show and my third one. And I did a high rocks literally 2 weeks ago. No, not even 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago. I did a high rocks competition. So I've been doing a lot of ththings. So going back to the question, why did you compete 2 more times after knowing how you'd feel going into this and during it and afterwards? Because I told myself that I did it with a friend, and I told myself, or I told him that I do it. And as soon as I told him and told myself that I do it, I fully commit and I just give it my all. That's the main reason. I wasn't planning on winning it. I wasn't planning on doing well. I told him I do it. I told myself I do it. It was a challenge. Maybe I felt a slight urge and motivation at the time because I'm like, oh, he's doing it. That's pretty cool. And then also because I'm naturally a pretty lean person year round. Like I managed to stay around 10 to maybe 12% body fat year round, where I am in a position where I'm able to kind of like dabble in shows here and there whenever I want to. But getting down from 10 to 8, 7, 6% body fat, which is what is required in order to step on stage, at least to be competitive. Like, even though it may not sound like a whole lot of a difference, it's a huge difference. Like the leaner you get, the tougher it is. Like the leaner you get, you'll notice that the harder it is to get rid of the last bit of body fat. And that's where you tend to see most of the bad side effects. Like I can chill at around 10 to 12% body fats. Like I'm good. Like I can maintain that year round. I can eat a bunch of food, especially with my activity level, with the amount of workouts I do. Like, yeah, I'm good. Like I'm not food focused. My sleep is good. My libido is good. Everything is good. But once you start to dip down to sub 10%, 9, 8, 7, 6, then things start to, get a bit bad. So let's move on to point number 3. Your productivity and life will take a massive hit. During prep, even the simple tasks feel heavy. Emails, hard. Filming content, draining. Running a business, nearly impossible. Taking sales calls, like you're just not there. Your brain is not optimized for performance. It's optimized for not dying, basically. Like that is it. Like anything above that is just a bonus. Like if you can survive the day, it's like, okay, we won the day. Anything on top of that, you are productive, you get something done, that's just another bonus. But it becomes increasingly more difficult. Every ounce of energy goes into keeping you alive while you're pushing your body to a fat percentage it was never meant to sustain. Like your body is not meant to sustain single-digit body fat. And that can clearly be shown by how your body reacts to that. Because why would your hormones plummet when your body fat goes so low? Because it's trying to survive. And it's not thriving. It is simply surviving. And so why do you think that people who are at a healthy body fats, let's say 12 to 15%, have everything optimized? Their libido is optimized. Their energy is optimized because they're in this abundant state where they are eating a ton of calories. They're eating a bunch of healthy fats. They're eating their carbohydrates. They're eating their protein. They're getting their sleep in. They're reducing their stress. Like your body is fully optimized at that state, but it cannot be fully optimized in a place of scarcity where you're not giving your body the calories it needs, the healthy fats it needs, the carbohydrates it needs, the protein it needs. You're in fight or flight mode. Your cortisol levels are sky high. Your body literally fights against you. It's doing everything it possibly can to get you out of this state by doing all these other things with your hormones. Your body is telling you, like, hey, once you dip down to this body fats, like we're going to shut things off. We're like your sex drive, your libido, your chances of procreating, of having sex, of making babies, not a chance, because you're not in a healthy state right now, just from an evolutionary standpoint. Your body's literally telling you, like, hey, get back to normal again, because at this state, you are not productive. You're not a productive member to society. So your body is fighting against you while you're going through this prep. So let's move on to section number 2. With all of this said and done, why I decided to walk away. Now, I was going to say walk away forever, but the word forever is a big term. And considering I'm still only 25, like who knows, like when I'm, 30, 40, who knows, I may end up doing it again. But for the foreseeable future, I'm walking away. So after my 3rd show, I asked myself this very simple question. Why am I doing this? Why did I decide to do this for the 3rd time, knowing what I was going to get myself into? Not the Instagram version, not the grind harder version, like the real version of myself. And the truth hit me. Bodybuilding was taking more from my life than it was giving me. I'm going to say this one more time and really like pay close attention to this. Bodybuilding was taking more from my life than it was giving me. Sure, you look good for 24 hours leading up to it and then after it, right? But the trade-offs, like I said, low hormones, low libido, zero energy, social isolation, depression, unproductivity, binge cycles, and then months of coming back to normal health. Like one of the things I didn't even discuss, but the whole binging situation, the food focus. I thankfully have not gone through any of that. It's like I've never, quote unquote, like actually had a binge episode. I have been very food focused, but I've never allowed that to make me binge on my diet. I've always been in a very controlled state, probably a bit too controlling, I would say, but I've never fully let myself go. But I know countless of stories, friends, stories on social media, YouTube videos, you name it, of people just binging on their diets where it just becomes uncontrollable. It's almost like this thing where you like a rubber band, basically. So imagine you have this rubber band in your hand and you pull it, where there's a lot of tension. And as soon as you let that tension go, boom, it just explodes and you cannot stop it, basically. That's basically what happens whenever you restrict yourself from eating food. And then as soon as the floodgates open, it's like, boom, you're uncontrollable. As soon as you finish your show, the deadline is there. It's just balls to the walls. You're just completely all in. Donuts, pizzas, burgers, fries, all the food that you were fantasizing about. You have it all written down in your notes. You got all the restaurants written down. You just go all in and you cannot stop yourself. Even like your hunger hormones are all out of whack. Your leptin, your ghrelin, which signal that you're full and satisfied, all go into opposite directions after you've been completed or depleted for so long, and you just cannot stop yourself. Even though you physically feel full, mentally you want to keep on eating. And I hear so many horror stories of people gaining 20, 30 pounds after their bodybuilding show and they have a hard time recovering from it. Like I know people to this day who have only done one bodybuilding show and it's been years after and they're still food focused. They're still going through episodes of binge eating, of restricting, binging, this yo-yo cycle that unfortunately hasn't ended for them and likely never will. And this is an unfortunate thing where it could have lasting impacts on your psychology. The way you view food will likely never be the same. It'll likely never be the same. A lot of people just don't think about that, right? And then, yeah, like I said, like months of coming back to normal health, like you don't get back to healthy as soon as the show ends, which a lot of people think like, no, it's not like it takes, especially if you're a female, like getting your cycle back, getting your menstrual cycle, like all these things, like it takes months. Some people even years, because so many things could happen. You either explode up, you gain a bunch of weight, or the opposite I've seen happen as well, which I would say I lean more towards, where you keep on restricting yourself. Even though the show is done, you're still in this mentality of restricting yourself, staying in that calorie deficit, still being a bit more food deprived, because for no apparent reason, you know, you're going to get back to healthier levels, but you just don't. You just kind of sit in that deprived state because you like the way you look. I haven't even talked about this, but body dysmorphia. You will never be satisfied with the way you look ever again, because you have quite literally just seen your peak state. You've seen what you are capable of. You have seen how amazing, how lean, how shredded, how peeled you could look with all the conditions favoring you. You got the lighting, you got the tan, you're fully depleted, and then you do the carb load, you got the stage shots, like everything leading up to this 5 minutes on stage. You get the stage shots, you get your pictures, you hang it up on the wall, and you're like, wow, that's what I used to look like. That is like peak conditioning. And then you compare that to your current self. You're like, wow, like I'm not happy with the way I look because I don't look like that. And forever, likely, you'll never be happy with the way you look because you've seen what you're capable of. You've seen what you actually can look like. But you got to remember, you cannot sustain that. You cannot maintain that physique forever. If you do, I mean, you're just going to sacrifice your quality of life, probably your duration of life. in order just to look good. And yeah, ultimately, like some people are willing to make that sacrifice, whereas others aren't. Most people you see on social media who maintain lean bodies year round, sure, it looks good, but if they were to tell you the truth, they feel like crap. And if you ask them on the street, they're like, hey, like, do you actually feel okay? They're like, yeah, I feel good. I feel fine. But their baseline of feeling good has lowered by so much now, where their new norm has diminished by a lot. But if they were actually honest with themselves, they're like, okay, well, realistically, I know I could feel better. I know I could have a bit more energy. I know I could have a bit more libido, a bit more sex drive. I know I can do this. But yeah, most of them are just willing to make the sacrifice of like, okay, well, I'm willing to feel a bit worse in order to maintain this lean aesthetic physique so that I can get a couple extra likes on Instagram or maybe get that sponsorship that I want. But yeah, that's just a personal question you're going to have to ask yourself, right? So going back to why I will never compete again. All these things that I just outlined, the low hormones, the low libido, zero energy, social isolation, all these things. That's not a lifestyle, that's a trap. Fitness is supposed to make your life better and not harder. I'm a firm believer in that. If your fitness routine is making your life harder, I would reassess. I would definitely reassess, especially if you're doing this for the long term, because it's supposed to give you energy and not steal it. It's supposed to help you show up for your family, your career, your goals, and not take you away from them. That's when I walked away, and I haven't looked back. Moving on to the last section here, section 3, what I choose to do instead. So we talked about all the bad things that happened during my bodybuilding prep and why I decided to, at least for the foreseeable future, not do it again. So here's what I'm going to be doing instead. And also why I've never felt better. So when I stepped away from the bodybuilding stage, I didn't step away from fitness. Like, I love fitness. Fitness is my life. Fitness has given me everything in life. And I will never step away from fitness. I'm a firm believer that fitness should be a core part of everyone's life. And what I think is so amazing about fitness is that there's so many different things you could do. You could be a CrossFitter. You could be a power lifter, a bodybuilder. You could be an athlete. You could be a runner, marathon runner, sprinter, distance runner, like whatever. There's so many different things that you can do within fitness. So I stepped into a new lane, and I've always been in this lane, but now I'm like really honing in on this and really putting all of my energy and emphasis towards this. And that is the hybrid athlete lifestyle. So, like I said, I've been running marathons throughout this journey. My first marathon was back in 2024. I did one this past year in February, the Austin Marathon, and I did one a couple months ago in September in Ventura, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I come from a soccer background. I come from an athletic background. I played soccer all my life. I had a scholarship to play soccer. I love sports. I love running. I love being active. I love fitness, and marathon is one of the things that I truly love. So I started running marathons. Last week, I did my first ever high rocks competition, which is a combination of both running and some obstacles involved, like wall balls, sled pushes, burpees, just like using your body, like being functional, like actually being able to utilize your body, right? And as a result, I still lift weights 6 times a week. I do my running, I do my high rocks, like I do everything. I'm a hybrid. I'm not just putting myself in this one little box of only bodybuilding. Like, no, I love running. I love sprinting. I love just moving my body. I love seeing what I'm capable of. And this allows me to stay lean year round without starving myself. I get to fuel my body instead of depriving my body. I eat real meals that actually fill me up, give me energy. Like, guys, you have no idea. I'm eating so much food right now, and I love it. Because now, instead of like strictly eating for aesthetic-based goals, I'm eating for performance-based goals. And as a result, I'm still able to maintain my aesthetics. I still look amazing while feeling amazing and performing amazing. So it's a win-win-win situation for me. I get to do what I love. I get to move my body. I get to be functional while eating a whole lot more food and being able to maintain a lean body year-round. This is my personal definition of fitness, where I'm able to be in this abundant state of food, abundant state of just calorie expenditure, performance, hitting PRs, feeling energized, feeling like rared up, actually looking forward to my workouts, looking forward to my meals, being able to eat out, being a lot more flexible with my diet, not being so food focused. This is my definition of fitness. This is what I view as fitness. This is my definition of health. And this is the life that I want to live. No starving myself, no Tupperware containers of only eating chicken, broccoli, and rice, no saying no to social events because I need to eat my home cooked meals. Like, I live a very flexible lifestyle. I eat out for sushi. I love doing it with my friends. It's like a weekly tradition we have. Maybe I go out during the week, have like a burrito bowl. I still eat very healthy. I love eating healthy food. Eating healthy makes me feel good. But I'm able to do it in a lot more flexible way. I stay lean, I eat real food, I train hard, but I live harder as well. I have more energy, and I'm excited for life again. I am truly excited. I sleep well, and every single time I wake up in the morning, I'm like, heck yeah, let's attack the day. Let's attack the day instead of letting the day attack me, instead of being scared, because I know that today I'm going to have to do an hour of cardio while being fasted, while being food deprived, and I still got to show up for all these other obligations in a low energy state. My testosterone is back, my libido is back, my hunger is healthy, my sleep is better, my productivity is through the roof, and for the first time in years, fitness enhances my life instead of taking over. That's why inside of our coaching program, we do not preach bodybuilding. I'm sorry, if you're a bodybuilder right now, we do not want to coach you. We do not want you inside of our program. You can find someone else's program. We do not condone that. We do not preach that because it is simply unsustainable. And I've seen for myself firsthand 3 times what it's done to me and what it's done to my friends and to other people. And I do not wish that upon anyone. Once again, if your plan is to compete in a pro bodybuilding show or to become the next Mr. Olympia, then yes, by all means, be my guest. Go ahead and go through the suffer. But if you're just simply wanting to live a healthier lifestyle, be there for your kids, have the energy to just to live life, be at a healthier body weight, make more money so you're more productive, like this is what we're here for. This is what we help you do, because we preach sustainable fitness, which means eating real food, lifting weights just 2 to 4 times a week, hit daily movements, staying lean without obsession, having energy for your wife, for your kids, for your jobs, for your hobbies, and building a body you're proud of without losing your life in the process. Our clients get long-term results because we give them a system that adds to their life and not one that steals from it. So going back to the question, will I ever compete again? Maybe, but probably not. Especially in the next coming years, probably not. Bodybuilding definitely taught me discipline. It's taught me a lot. But hybrid athleticism, high rocks, running marathons, being able to move my body, gave me my life back. Now, if you want real sustainable results, the kind I help busy dads, husbands, and busy professionals get every single day, what you can go ahead and do is book a free consultation call with me down below, where we'll go over your current goals to see exactly how much weight you're looking to lose, whether it's 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, whatever it may be. We'll look at your current struggles right now. We'll see exactly what's holding you back right now, whether it's the lack of time, lack of structure, lack of accountability. And then together, we're going to help you absolutely crush them in the next couple of months. So if that sounds good to you, the link will be in the description down below. And I'll see you all there. Peace.